um, giants, which was to go find the one guy's father and murder him good.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. You got all the good stuff. All right. So, yeah, we left off. Narby had just been working on getting one of the Warforged awake to see how they were doing after so long in stasis. As I recall, they've been in stasis for somewhere between 500 to 2,000 years, so it's unclear. You could argue that you just come across a lot of people that deserve it.
Fair.
Which is, totally possible. So yeah, Narby's been working on him. Sparkle Gem and the rest of his gnome friends are coming up from Long Saddle. You're technically good aligned. Or wait, no, you aren't. Are you? Irrelevant, anyways. So, we leave off a couple days afterwards. Ox, you've had the Narby's been working on you, and he's installed both the offensive and the tank forms on you. And at the same time, he's been working on activating one of the Warforged that you guys picked out from the professor's secret enormous stash of them. Narby calls you all down into the lab one day and says, "Oh, it's almost ready. Oh, it's so exciting. It's been so long since I've gotten to do this. Oh, I do love Warforged. Come, quickly. He's going to wake soon."
Thanks for just wandering.
All right. So Narby will take you down into the lab. I'm going to drop you guys into the lab again, actually. Where is everything? There's everything. He'll take you down into the lab, into the back area where the Warforged were originally stored. He's pulled a lot of the professor's equipment into here using the golems. And he's clearly hooked one of the Warforged, which has the professor's name and the number 26 emblazoned on his chest. He's got a number of things hooked up to him, particularly towards his brain. It was the lowest number Narby could find.
Fair enough.
All right, then.
So, Narby flicks a couple of switches on the machines next to him. And the wires into the Warforged begin emanating magic power. The Warforged on the table begins to jerk a little bit.
Hanks is keeping back at this one.
And eventually stops and sits up in one smooth motion, climbs off the table, and stands to attention. and stands there waiting.
Well, hello.
Do you have a name?
I am designated number 23.
Inks is glancing over to Ox for ways to talk to one of his kind.
What was your last order?
Last order from Master Corster. Go below the tower. Rest. Wait for further orders.
What tower was that?
Master Corster's tower.
Where is Master Corster's tower located?
Unclear. This unit has never left the tower.
Well, looks like our dear departed professor took over someone else's place.
Possibly. Probably.
How long ago was this last order? What year?
One sec. I need to calculate the year.
I only said year because I don't know whether they know how long they've been out or not.
Last order was in year 506.
By which reckoning?
The current one. I can't remember.
Tailland's
what-
reckoning. Okay.
Yeah.
How many years
That's
is that?
1,000 years ago?
1,000 years ago. Oh, shit.
9. Just under. But yeah. It's like 990 something.
Goodness, someone's been sleeping for a while.
Where is Master Quester?
We do not know. You have been resting for almost 1,000 years.
Where is Master Quester? This unit requires orders.
What was your main function under Master Corster?
Protection of his workshop. Some of the other units were tasked with the area around the workshop. I never left.
Inks arches a brow at that. His own personal army. Interesting.
Did Master Corster serve a kingdom or a city or any other political entity?
Unknown.
Master Corster was the owner of the tower?
Yes.
Is your loyalty to Master Corster or to the owner of the tower?
My loyalty is to Master Corster. He is my creator.
Are there any standing orders for what's to happen if Master Corster is dead?
There are not.
Here's a question. Does our gnome friend look like he recognizes the name at all?
Narby looks about as clueless as the rest of you do. Mm. Sparklegem might know more, but
I'll turn back to number 23. If Master Corster can't be found, what will you do?
I do not know. This unit has no orders in such an event.
Here's a question. Would Soliloquy get any hits off of her fancy hat of mind reading or whatever?
You get kind of a flickering. She would get kind of a flickering. Something's sort of there, but not fully.
Which means if they're going to be independent, they're going to have to learn how to think for themselves first.
That's one way to look at it.
What happened?
Gonna quietly mutter to Ox. Do you think he's going to be of use?
I don't understand the question.
Well, do you think he's going to require a reset to follow us in any way? Or take any orders besides from this most probably dead person of his?
Ox is going to look kind of offended at that. We're not awakening them to make them follow orders.
To be fair, that's what we originally came here for when we were asking the professor for help. You seemed fine with that.
There's a difference between mindless automatons and beings with actual souls.
The question is this one of those? Because so far, I'm not seeing it just yet.
Neither is a human or an elf when they're first born.
So this was what infancy was like for you?
More or less.
If it's not prying to ask, how long did it take for you to figure out how to make your own orders?
Well, Ox is about 14 years old now, if you're counting age from when the gnomes first restored him. So, probably a couple years.
That's not too bad. I mean, compared to a human or an elf or a dwarf.
Yes. I'm not sure how closely these Warforged constructions is to Ox's, though.
But we're definitely talking years before they can use their free will as an adult.
Oh.
As an adult, yes.
At an adult level of competency, but
It's Narbiel. Are you guys? You're probably having a similar discussion in character.
yeah, it's just
I
taking
would
us a
imagine.
little longer to freeze these concepts because we're not that bright.
Yeah. No, you are not. Narvi
Let's
will
get
chime
Rox's
in.
opinion.
It depends. It part of the process of a Warforged maturing isn't necessarily the same as someone fully biological, mature. Part of it is also encouragement to find their own free will. We can make it faster, I suppose. Myself and the other gnomes had some experience with Ox and his brothers, but still not fast. Maybe 6 months?
Well, good news is we have confirmed they're not programmed to kill all humans or anything like that.
I am not programmed to kill anyone. I have been ordered. I have been ordered to remain here and in stasis. I am unclear as to why I have been reactivated without orders.
Well, to be honest, part of it was wondering whether you had orders or not.
But I do not have orders.
She'll quietly ask Narb if he could be put back in stasis if he wanted to be.
Yes. It would be an awful waste of all this effort, though.
I agree.
If you figured out how to make him take your orders, you could literally just order him back into stasis.
That's not what she wants to do. Things just smirks.
I don't think any of us actually want that, but I want to know it's an option.
Yeah. I mean, if he chooses to go back into stasis, yeah, that's fine, but he should do it because that's what he wants, not because he's been ordered to.
You just said this is an infant, doesn't know what it wants.
I just said this was an infant that we shouldn't be giving orders to. There's a difference.
But again, it doesn't know how to give its own orders.
Yes, but as Narby mentioned, gnomes can help with that.
But we have to get. I think we do have to get a situation where the gnomes can give them orders for their own safety as well as anyone else's.
That's basically what parents are, right?
That's the idea.
I suppose. Anyway, I mean, the gnomes have much more experience at this sort of thing than we do, so I would leave the details of it up to them.
So they're not going to destroy anyone immediately, but they can't be of any help to us right now. We should probably just go. We have at least 2 wars to stop right now, and I don't think they're going to be helping us anytime soon.
No. I'll ask Narb When the gnomes arrive, do you think they will be able to keep this place safe?
Ah, perhaps. I've activated most of the golems. I've figured out how to seal the doors. It should keep us safe against anything short of a small army.
Well, even with a small army, you've got a small army of Warforged who appear to have orders to defend the tower.
This is true.
I mean, try not to do that if you can help it, but
Well, yeah, obviously.
I'll have to awaken all of them, though. That's no small task. When Sparkle Gem gets here, I'll talk to him about getting some more. About getting some more of the Warforged up and running. And probably getting some more gnomes here, too.
We'll certainly have to leave you to it then. Unfortunately, we have some other business to attend to.
Yes.
how much longer do they think it's gonna take for the other gnomes to arrive?
Maybe a day.
Yeah, because we've already spent a few days in the tower.
Yeah.
You have.
So we're probably going to be leaving as soon as they arrive and get settled. So sometime tomorrow.
Sounds about right. All right. So all y'all want to do is just head up to sleep.
Probably on to update Lord Naboon on what we discovered when we woke one up.
Okay.
Which is that they're not a threat.
Is their master's name?
Chorster.
Hmm.
And that was not quite 1,000 years ago. So I'd be shocked if he's still alive.
Oh, probably not.
If you can
The
find
man
an heir,
is-
that would be helpful.
I'll look into it. It's likely not, however. Corster was in. That would have been around a very difficult point in history.
Could certainly guess so from the number of Warforged down here.
Corster was around. That would have been around when. Well, to paraphrase a old scroll I once read, when the plural of wizard was war. It was a bad time to be non-magical. A lot of Warforged made, a lot of Warforged destroyed.
Here we are going into a couple more wars. This will be wonderful.
Oh, those wars are long past.
These sort of
Yeah,
things
there's a
happen
couple.
every 100 years or so, anyway.
Oh, absolutely. The realms, Faerun isn't complete without an explosion of war every once in a while. But I mean, why else would you build something literally called War Forged than for war?
You do have a point.
What year was it?
Year 506, specifically.
So we're on the collapse of Unther. Okay. I'm just trying to place this with my own understanding of things.
There's out of character. It's not tied. Corster isn't tied to any particular faction. He just kind of is.
Yeah.
He's in, if I recall correctly, he's in a very wrong place of the world to be involved with Unther. Though it's kind of hard to tell. The maps don't match up very well.
Yeah, the geography gets reshuffled every.
Yeah, every new edition, there's a reshuffling. But yeah, so that's purely out of character, though. In character, you got him if you took the time to look through the professor's notes. But yeah. And you, last we spoke, you were heading to Parnast, correct? To go deal with
Oh yeah.
That certainly is
with
the
your
plan.
new friend's father. Now I feel obliged to remind you, if you'd rather a simpler path, Deadstone Cleft is close by and has a giant lord right there. Thane Kaelithica, the Thane of the Stone Giants. If you'd rather not have to head all the way down and then fly a tower halfway across the Sword Coast, it would certainly be simpler.
Perhaps, but then we would have to deal with a very upset orc cloud giant, and that might be a little bit more difficult.
I suppose so.
It's all relative, really.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, it is ultimately your decision. Plus, the tower may come in useful in the future as well. Who knows?
We can certainly hope.
Very well. Do as you see fit. I need to go speak with more lords about the Duke's proposal.
Try not to sound too down and out, my lord.
I still don't trust him. I still don't want this happening.
Again, neither do we.
Well, we'll see.
Desperate times and whatnot, my lord.
But for what it's worth, most of the other lords seem to agree with you. They're inviting him to a summit. Imagine that. Lords from all over the Sword Coast gathering.
That is what an
They've
alliance
even-
is, isn't it?
Yes. They've even offered him a teleportation all the way to Neverwinter.
That's certainly interesting.
Yes.
Faces.
If you get the chance, stop in. I have no doubt our negotiations there will be quite the show. The savage giants railing against us. Should be something to see.
Well, we'll eventually have some business in Neverwinter, probably.
Well, it won't be happening for another couple of weeks. Takes time to arrange and secure. But if you do get the chance, the breath of sanity and competence would be much appreciated.
You never cease to flatter a lady.
I do my best. Good talk and good hunting to you.
Be well, my lord.
You as well. He hangs up on you.
Like I said, we do eventually have business in Neverwinter, possibly, if we want to find this Shadow King hand. According to the Eye of the Allfather, at least.
Yes. But one cliff at a time.
As best as we can do that.
But we are agreed. We've done everything here we can do, aside from wait for the gnomes to be here for their own safety.
Certainly don't see us helping too much any other way.
No, that's spending years here, so.
No offense, Ox Darling, but not my back.
I'm not opposed to the idea of it. Just, have other things to do that are somewhat pressing.
So, once the gnomes arrive, we head back to Mirabar and then jump over to Loudwater?
Sounds like a plan.
Everybody be ready to leave in the morning. Or later, depending on when the gnomes get here.
Done and done.
Alrighty. So, y'all go to sleep for hopefully your last night in this creepy ass tower. You awaken in the morning to the sound of light tapping on the very large door to the tower. and what sounds like squeaking from outside.
All right, let's see who it is.
As you get closer, it starts to become a bit more clear.
Open the door.
Oh,
Didn't understand a word of that.
hello.
Greetings.
Greetings. I am Sparklegem Rockgleam, friend of Narby.
I'll give
Is he
Sparkle
here?
Jim a bow. Welcome to the Tower of Master Chorster. Narb is here. Come this way.
Excellent.
Is there
Excellent.
anyone with
Excellent.
Sparkle Gem?
Yes, there are many gnomes with him. There's probably a couple hundred gnomes who've made the pilgrimage. So Sparkle Gem is typical gnome height, around 2.5 feet tall. He has a very long, nice, white, flowing beard. He has a couple of very sparkly gems in a circlet that he's wearing.
No.
And he's wearing workman's clothes covered in grease. The other I almost said the other drones. The other gnomes with him are attired similarly, just without the circlet and without the very sparkly gems.
Welcome, one and all.
Thank you, thank you. Please show me to Sparkle Gem. I want to see the Warforged. It's been so long. Oh, it's going to be such great fun. We're going to awaken all of them. Have you ever tried to awaken a Warforged before? Awakening them without disturbing the artificial intelligence inherent in them is a very difficult challenge. You have to be very careful when you're arousing their brains. And Sparkle Gem goes on for a little while as you all lead him inside down to Narby. At which point they both start geeking out over the Warforged army.
I'm gonna make sure that whichever gnome seems to be in charge of making sure they all have beds is, able to do that.
After all that talk, Inks might sneak over to the kitchen and just start putting bottles of wine in a bag of holding.
I like how you think.
Alright, you can easily go in. All the gnomes basically piled down the hatch to go see the Warforged. They are not paying attention to you. One of them, Adriel, you single out one of them who is stumbling constantly and who has a pet duck who's following him. His name is Stumble Duck. No?
Of course it is. Yeah, I'll make sure Stumbleduck knows where the kitchens are and what the food situation is. Probably not good, but
Oh, we're gnomes. We can find a solution to anything.
well, good luck with that.
Thank you. He
Now that
he wanders off towards the kitchen, humming and counting.
Right, well, now that they're arrived, we should gather ourselves up and get going.
All right. So it's about a day and a half and change. Day and a half. day and 3/4 to get to Mirabar from where you guys are, 70 miles. You zip along on the flying carpet. What's happening with the awakened trees?
That would probably be a question for Syl, who can't make it.
Yeah, that would be a question for Syl. For now, the awakened trees are in limbo. It is unclear where they are.
I would assume she'd probably do the same thing she did to the last group.
She kind of just released those ones into the wild, though, as I recall.
Didn't she tell them to make their way to the what was it?
Oh, to Shadowtop Cathedral?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, something like that.
Okay. They can totes do that then. That's what, 6 trees total? 5? 6 sounds right.
Sounds about right.
Let me write that down. All right. So they head off in the direction of Shadowtop Cathedral. Syl is very quiet on the carpet. Doesn't say much. My guys are flying. Is anybody doing? It's a day and a half's journey. We'll just do it all at once. Is anybody doing anything in particular on the journey there, or?
No, so just making sure we're all on the same page from Igaron about what all his father can do so they can be ready.
Ah, yes. Fuck. Okay, I need to grab this book that has his stat block. So Igaron, I believe, mentioned to you guys that his dad has all the standard, has all the standard Cloud Giant powers, and that he is also a spellcaster. Did he mention that?
Yes.
I believe he did.
Okay. Yep. So he's a spellcaster beyond just what cloud giants are natively capable of doing. He's made some study of it. So that's what his dad is capable of doing.
Does he have any spells of choice?
He's particularly fond of lightning bolts. He likes to refer to it as smiting the unworthy.
What the bloody hell is with all the lightning lately? Giving a look at Oxenrich for a second. I think we're going to need some of that protection from energy.
If I recall, you guys should have a lightning resistance ring from somewhere.
We have fire resistance.
Oh, right, the Duke has the lightning resistance one. And you guys didn't kill him.
Surprise!
My bad. Anyhow, yeah. So Blagothkus has all those powers. Um, he also, if I recall correctly, yeah, he also has a dragon that he keeps captive in his castle. Igaron explains to you guys that he's taken its eggs hostage and has forced a white dragon to make its home in the bowels of his castle.
I'm sorry, say again?
Blagothkus has a white dragon hiding in the bottom of his castle. He took its eggs hostage and
Giants can be very strange. No offense, darling. To Agaron.
It's a bold option. I don't suppose Igaron knows where in the castle the eggs are kept.
Father didn't tell me exactly, but it seems like he stashed them under the bed, I think. His bed. Got a big bloody chest sitting under it. Chuckled to me once that it was the safest place in the castle.
So I guess what do we know about white dragons? Like, we fought one before, right?
You fought a baby white dragon at one point. Young?
We
You
fought
fought
like
a
I was older than a baby when we
Yeah, you
were
fought.
visiting the Frost Giants, but it wasn't an adult.
Yeah, you fought a young and a wormling. This one is an adult.
So it's about as smart as the rest of the party.
Yeah, actually, maybe.
I'm just curious, like, is there... I don't think we can make kind of a mini truce with it to take care of the asshole.
If we can get the eggs, at the very least, we can make it leave us alone.
Yeah, I mean, it's as smart as any of you guys.
We got
Yeah,
your
we don't
eggs.
know how,
Want to leave? Why
how
don't you
up
leave?
it would be for making a deal. They're saying, I have my eggs now, screw all of you.
Basically. We might be able to talk it into helping us, and then we help it get its eggs. But we might not be able to. And it won't tell us if it's going to plans on betraying us. But if we got the eggs, we can make it go away.
Roll. Only a nature check or an arcana check to see how much you know about white dragons in particular.
Well, it's a little known fact, but white dragons aren't actually the color of white. They're all of the colors at once, and those different waveforms just hit your eyes all at the same time and make them appear white.
Ah, yes. Truly a little known fact. I didn't even know that.
It's my charisma that's doubled when dealing with them.
He's clearly the smartest of this entire party.
Apparently.
I mean, is that really a surprise?
It's not hard, to be fair. Inks, you recall reading somewhere that white dragons tend to be extremely vicious and don't get along well with others of their kind, but they are greedy little fucks. Very, very greedy.
To be fair, so are we a little bit. Looks at Rich.
Just because I'm opportunistic doesn't make me greedy.
Says the guy who is sitting in it. What would you do with your mech? Did you take that mech?
Mech things?
Yeah, actually. You could... Let me check Syl's spell list. Druids are one of those ones that know everything and then just have to prepare individual spells, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Good. There's like a shape stone spell. I know that. Do druids get it, though?
You would think.
Can anybody give me a yay or a nay on that?
Sorry, say it again.
I know there exists like a shape stone or something spell. Stone shape. Yes, druids do
druids
get it.
it.
Okay. The question is it useful enough?
What are you trying to do with stone shape?
Get that mecha out.
Yeah, because the ladder down isn't big enough to fit the mech out.
Yeah, I probably did it with stone shape the 4 days or so that we were here.
Yeah, stone shape doesn't look like it affects that much, though, is the thing.
Well, I mean, it's a 5 foot cube every time you cast it.
Right.
But we've been here for 4 days. She's what, a level 10 druid?
She gets 3 castings per day.
So really only 3?
Yeah.
4th level
At least
spell.
looking at her sheet, it says 3.
Well, but she can also cast it as a 5th level spell, so that's 5 castings per day.
That's true. So that's 25 feet. We established that's 25 feet in height, right? At the what's the fuck? The shaft. That's the word I'm looking for. Was 200 feet, I think. So you can get halfway up in the 4 days you have. Just solely based on castings.
What about like enlarge reduce?
Does anybody know enlarge reduce?
I don't. I thought we had that at one point.
Is she Circle of the Moon or Circle of the Land? Does anybody know?
Don't know.
Do not know.
Not in the sheet.
It's not on the main druid list.
Yeah. Um. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
One of the
Narby
gnomes?
and the druids. Yeah, Narby and the gnomes are wizards. Or, well, artificers. They might know enlarge reduce. Alright. What do you think the odds of an artificer knowing enlarge reduce are?
If it's a gnome and they're dealing with big objects.
I don't know. How big do you think they need? These are guys who specialize in Warforged. Do you think they need to reduce them in size that much?
Or enlarge themselves.
To get them into gnome-sized spaces? Yeah, fairly often.
That's a point.
What level is enlarge reduce?
Enlarge
Second,
reduce
I'm pretty
is
sure.
second. Second, it is. You are correct.
It is on the Unearthed Arcana Artificer spell list.
All right. So I'm gonna give them a 75% chance of having enlarge reduce. I'm gonna roll a d20 for y'all. Anything above a 5.
Not looking too good considering our last set of rolls. Oh.
All right. One of the gnomes, not one of the, not Narby or Sparkle Gem or Stumbleduck, but one of the other gnomes does in fact know enlarge reduce. He's the gnome that all of the other gnomes go to when they need something enlarged or reduced.
Oh, really?
When they need something from the top shelf of the cabinet.
Exactly. And so he, upon seeing your mech, his eyes like start forming stars inside of them. They're literally shining at the sight of this thing.
You found
He's like,
Steven
yes,
Universe.
I will absolutely cast enlarge reduce on this mech to make it smaller so you can use it. And
Just
so,
wants to watch.
and so he casts reduce on your or the reduce part of enlarge reduce. How long does it last for? Up to a minute. Can you haul something up 100 feet in a minute?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Why
can.
spell?
I can
Yeah.
do it in
I
6
mean, it
seconds.
depends on the weight, but yeah.
Well, 12 seconds maybe. As long as I can carry
Yeah,
it.
Rich has levitate.
I have levitate and fly.
All right. So yes, you have the spells to get this thing out, and you now have a mech.
This has
Yeah.
gotten very sci-fi very quickly.
Yes, you have a clockwork mech.
It's more
Um,
steampunk than sci-fi.
Yeah. Well,
That's fair.
all right. I do not have stats for it. If you intend to use it in combat, actually, Rich, do you have like proficiency with land vehicles or any form of vehicles at all? Just out of curiosity.
Wouldn't that be like a
Nope.
jack of all trades thing?
Yeah, jack of all trades would probably apply to it, but all right, all right.
Richard, you have to like add a bunch of instruments to that thing and just basically become like Skrillex.
I was just thinking that I could be my own one-man band.
Get so much money.
All right. Well,
Inks can add some prestidigitation, make it look really cool. Fireworks.
all right. Well, you have a mech now. Whether you cannot reliably use it yet, you're going to need to take some practicing to do so. But for like, you've got basic walking down in it, so you can run alongside the flying carpet.
I'm okay with this.
This thing is pretty fucking sturdy at At one point, you accidentally swerve off course and ran into a tree, and the tree gives well before your mech does.
And Siliqui's like, you asshole! I was gonna name it
My
Fred.
bad.
All right. Anybody doing anything else? We have the mech. You guys have the mech. Anybody doing anything else on the trip back to Mirabar?
I don't think so. I don't have anything to do.
We're just going over strategy with Ageron.
Yep. That and meditation and getting used to my new toys.
Yes, those. Is anybody going through his Ox? I know you took a bunch of his notes. Is anybody going?
I would have
through?
left those with the gnomes.
Okay, so nobody's going through them.
Yeah, so
Presumably the gnomes are, but yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. So yeah, Ox, do you want to describe your newest modifications?
Show us the goods.
Yeah, so basically it's just some extra metal bits that sort of deploy out from the back and cover up the arms and legs. Two modes, one that makes them stronger when they hit, another that forms more of like a dense armor, but slows me down. And that's about it.
Didn't get like a new Iron Man color scheme. Get a paint job.
You can do that without magical transforming armor.
Yeah, but this is Ox Mark II.
Yeah, more like 1.1. It's not a complete upgrade, it's just a minor enhancement.
Yeah, you'd need the other two forms to be 2.0, I think.
I don't know, Iron Man's had a lot of armor that hasn't really changed much.
God, yes, he has. Fucker. I really wanted you to take the shoulder cannon. But alas, you can't always get what you want.
Sometimes you get what you need.
Yes. All right, so the journey back to Mirabar goes fairly smoothly. It's much easier to get back into the city now that you don't have a frost giant with you, or you have to worry about having him, about his invisibility timeout.
Pour some out for Harknog.
Indeed. So you get into Mirabar probably late afternoon. Do you want to just head straight to Loudwater, stay the night?
Get straight to Loudwater.
Alrighty.
Unless somebody had something they want to buy in the city, but
So look, we already got another alchemy jug. Do we want any, see if we can find any scrolls or anything?
it's a good question.
Or possibly like a potion of lightning resistance or something.
Yeah, let's see if we can find potions of lightning resistance.
All right. Mirabar is. So you can go around and you can find an alchemist fairly easily. Dwarves still do that. There are a few gnomes around as well. You can find an alchemist fairly easily. Potions of lightning resistance are. Anybody know what rarity those are?
Not a fan.
Try to look it up.
Potion of resistance is actually uncommon. So. You do, in fact, find a. You find a dwarf who has a couple of potions of lightning resistance that are bright yellow. So he has two that he's willing to sell. He's willing to sell them for 350 gold apiece. He also has several just generic potions of resistance. So he's not sure exactly what element they provide resistance to, but he's certain that they provide resistance to something. And you're welcome to try something off that list for. You're welcome to grab one of those for 150 gold. He's got basically as many of them as you could want.
Can we possibly haggle down to 500 for the 2 lightning?
Roll persuasion. Yeah, he'll go to 500. Pleasure doing business with you.
Likewise, good sir.
Now, do you think you'll be needing any of these here potions of resistance. Guaranteed at least one element of resistance. But you never know what it'll be.
Not sure if I personally would, but shall look to everybody else just in case.
Define dragon scale armor, Adriel.
Scale mill armor made from the scales of the dragon.
Okay.
Obviously, preferably magical.
Right. Do you want? What does the rune of Scold have to do with this?
That's the one that's giving me +1 AC at the moment.
Yes. That doesn't need to be part of your armor or anything, though. That
No,
just
doesn't have
gives
to be,
that
no.
to you by being on your person.
Yep.
Okay. Because if you wanted that integrated, you could. You just need somebody who was not a random smith to do
Right.
it. Commissioning dragon scale armor. There are smiths around who can do it in Mirabar. Smiths around who can do it fast are uncommon, however. Roll me an investigation check to go find yourself one of these smiths. You do find a couple of smiths who offer to make you dragon scale armor. However, their current turnover time for that would be the least that you find is a month. They're just too busy right now to do it immediately and in the sort of rush job way that you'd need.
Okay. I'll take my luck somewhere else. Try my luck somewhere else.
Perhaps we could come back through later.
I think it's going to take them. I mean, it's going to take a week or two for them to make it anyway. But
If that was the case, we could always just jump back in with the circle.
yeah, hold on a second.
All right. Anybody else looking for? Oh, who is it? Random resistance potions. Does anybody actually want one?
I'm thinking,
Yeah, I can already get 2 types of resistance, so.
That's fair. All right. No random resistance potions. Then you pick up 2 potions of lightning resistance. Who wants the 2 potions of lightning resistance?
I figure just 2 people get those, and then maybe the rest get it from whoever has the protection against energy.
Who does have protection against energy?
Pretty sure that's Syl.
Yeah, it's L.
I can cast it too.
There you go.
And that would be good.
Yep. That's so.
The main issue with me casting it is its concentration, so.
Yeah.
Although I have Warcaster on, I keep forgetting, but so I have advantage on those checks. But I can cast it on myself at least.
And then Soul can
Well, if
cast it.
anything, you
And
probably
we got
want
2 potions, so that covers 4/5 of the party.
We probably want the people up front to have the actual potion, so they don't have to worry about concentration.
What kind of saves are lightning spells usually? Is it Dex or Con?
Lightning Bolt is Dex.
Yep.
Okay. I can probably just forego the resistance then.
Well then, Inks would gladly take 1 after that whole thing in the cast, because that hurts like a bitch.
But yeah, I mean, +8 save and evasion, so.
If I were to commission the armor, how much would that cost?
One sec. Let me grab my DMG.
The answer to that is expensive. Dragon scale mail is dragon scale mail is actually a very rare magical item.
It is,
Um,
but I'm providing the ingot and the scale.
That's true. So there's some room for haggle here.
Given that they don't have to provide.
Haggling.
Yeah. If you were looking to do it here, call it 9,000 gold base.
That's a bit out of my range, even still.
Again, open to haggling, but it's not a cheap undertaking, right?
It's not. All right. Nah, it's, even with haggling, I don't think it would have to get a lot less for me to afford it now. So.
Well, the good news is you're about to go fight a dragon and an evil cloud giant.
I fail to see the good news in that.
Yeah, with that better armor.
Both of them are notable for being greedy as fuck.
It's true. There might be a lot of money there.
There should not be a might in that sentence. There will be. There will be a lot of money.
So what I'm hearing is we need more bags of holding.
Or you can if you want.
A portable hole is an easier way to move a lot of loot. Just don't put it in the bag of holding.
Can we put the mech in the portable hole?
Would fit. Portable hole is still only 6 feet across.
We need to find an artificer that makes bigger portable holes. We need our hole bigger.
Yeah, you need a bigger hole to put all your stuff in.
Gotta stuff that hole.
All right. So yes, you can pick up another bag of holding for another 200 gold, or a portable hole for a call 500.
I will get a portable hole and a
Right.
nice second pouch to put it in.
All right. The portable hole, the magic item vendor will throw in a pouch for it free of charge, with purchase
Sweet.
of the hole.
50 platinum coins.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Give him a
All right. So you guys are portable hole, bag of holding, potioned up. Hit the loud water. Or yep. All right. So you head back into the stable house that the teleportation circle was in. The dwarf that you met last time, Mr. Bronzefire, was in fact sleeping in the hay that is covering the circle, but he wakes up quickly enough, grumbling. All right, get in, get in, get in. Let's get you on your way. You're
Pleasure to see you
heading
again, darling.
to. Likewise. You're heading to Loudwater?
That we are.
Excellent. All right. I will send you to there then.
It's much appreciated. Thank you.
He casts a teleport spell, sends you all to Loudwater. So the teleportation circle in Loudwater is in a 30-foot square cellar. There are wine barrels stacked against the wall, and a wooden staircase at the far end of the room, under which there is a very messy bed that a mage is currently sleeping in. He does not appear to stir as you come in or arrive.
Ings will put the finger to the lips and see if they can sneak out.
All right. Make sneak checks for me then if you really care about not waking this guy up.
It's only polite.
Rich is a fucking shadow. Comes out no problem. Adriel, you're not far behind him.
I tried.
Inks, you trip over a bottle that you didn't notice was there. Kick it. It rattles around a bit. The mage stirs, but he does not awake. This bottle is, in fact, one of several that are scattered around his bed.
Ah, yes, of course. She knows this scene very well.
So the stairs at the far end of the room lead up to a secret door that it opens, and it appears to open to inside a large wooden trunk that's bolted to the floor. If you open the trunk and climb out, you find yourselves in a curtained cloakroom, and you can hear voices outside. They sound merry, with the occasional clinking of glasses.
Is there a keyhole we can peer through?
There's a tavern. Yes, there's a keyhole. You're in a tavern.
All right. Excellent. Going into the main room.
Inks musses
All right.
up her hair. And a couple other people. And then steps out. Just chuckling, like giggling to herself. Go with the flow, darlings.
I assume if I look out a window, I can see it's dusk.
Oh yeah, it's dusky outside. There's some lights down the street, but it's pretty dark in Loudwater right now. The innkeeper, none of the patrons seem to notice you, but the innkeeper, noticing you guys come out of the closet, and not having ever gone in,
Fabulous.
scuttles over to you. Did you all come in by way of the cellar, perchance?
Yes. Apologies for not using the front door.
Oh, no problem. He opens his hand discreetly towards you guys and shows you a Harper ring.
So
My name
that's
is...
Rich.
Because I want to have a Lord Alliance ring. We might have a Lord's Alliance badge.
No, we have a Harper thing from... Rich has the Harper thing.
Rich has a Harper ring. He's not a Harper ring.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Or
But
am
you
I?
have a ring from... fuck, what was his name? That gnome who gave you guys the clockwork dog.
Yeah. I still have that.
You should. Thwip Ironbottom. That's his name. Yeah, you totally still have a Harper ring from him. But yeah, so the innkeeper shows you guys his Harper ring. Name's Guarin Umbril. I run this here tavern, the Smiling Satyr.
Getting that name already.
Was my friend downstairs. He was asleep, wasn't he?
Yes.
Or was he not there?
He was there.
Well, that's something.
Crazy night.
It's always a 50-50 with him. He likes to leave and eat. Anyhow, I'll find you some rooms upstairs.
Thank you.
Let me know if you'd like a drink. I'm sure you're not exactly here for pleasure, but we'll see if we can't find you at least a little bit tonight.
And hopefully we can bring some to you as well. And she'll kind of flash her lyre.
Ah, excellent. Oh. If you're willing to play, feel free. Well, we always welcome a bit of entertainment around here.
Always glad to oblige, darling.
All right. So yeah, the Smiling Satyr seems to be a pretty nice inn. It's well lit. It's pretty clean. There are actual glass windows in all of the window frames. Everything's kept up and well repaired. The rooms are not enormous, but nice. The sheets are clean, no bugs anywhere. It's a nice, comfortable little place.
Nice.
It's nice and rowdy, but never belligerent, I guess.
My kind of crowd.
All right. All right. So, you guys have a night on the town in Loudwater. What's everybody doing?
I'm actually doing a change of plans since I priced out the armor. I'm gonna transfer the rune from the ingot to my shield. So I like the shield thing better. So I'm likely to use it.
Performance at the
So that's gonna take all night.
Okay. That destroys the ingot.
It does.
Okay. So, you trace the Scald rune onto your non-magical shield. Takes all night, but when you're done in the morning, you have the benefits on the benefits of the shield ward on your shield. So it's now a +1 shield and has keeps you from going down once per day. Yep. That's pretty sweet. All right. What's everybody else doing for the night?
Performing. It's been a while.
Give me a performance check. So, being out in the wilderness has taken a bit of a toll on your playing. You haven't kept quite as in practice as you'd like. There hasn't been anybody to play for, but you manage a pretty good performance, and the people here are generous. So, you manage 5 gold pieces. Totaled up at the end of the night with tips. Alright. Rich, Ox, what are you guys doing?
Probably just carousing tonight.
You're carousing.
That sounds
All
like
right.
a Syl thing too. Oh, we need to tell her.
Somebody ask Syl if she wants to carouse.
I think Inks is doing that now.
Alright. Roll me a D100 if you would like to carouse. Alright.
Was there something about getting super high or super low that was supposed to be awesome last time?
Yes.
Realistically, both are pretty interesting.
I think there's 100 results, so.
There are. This is a D100 table I'm using.
I wish I could inspire myself.
Like, actually, I mean, you can if you want.
Oh, I didn't roll it.
It's all right.
Sweet.
All right. All right. You've rolled exactly 100. Roll 2d100. This is one of those tables where the 100 is rolled twice and combined.
It knew.
31 and a 17. What are those?
Here we go.
All right. Give me a sec. I need a second to think about this one. Ox, what are you doing?
Taking back at the tavern. Seeing what goes on there. Meditating in my room afterwards.
All right. All right. All right. So, you, Rich, at some point during the night, you leave the you manage to escape the smiling satyr, and you wake up. You wake up in another seedy club on the other side of town called the Dancing Dryad. Apparently, the Dancing Dryad has just random beds off the main room. You wake up spooning somebody who looks almost exactly like you. Human, but exactly like you. Your normal clothes are in a pile in the corner, and you appear to be wearing a G-string that came from some unknown place. But there is a small sack of coins on the bedside table, and there is a note along with it.
You have traded goods and or services.
Well, I'll read the note.
People like you are why I always enjoy coming to amateur night at the Dancing Dryad. I'm very glad to have met you, and I hope we can get to know each other a little bit more intimately.
Oh, you dog.
Sincerely, Lord Zazrek. Sorry, Lady Zazrek.
Oh.
Wait, no, fuck, Lord.
Yes.
Is my other half still asleep on the bed?
Yep, he's still asleep there.
I'll take the money in the note and head on out.
All right, there's 48 gold pieces in the bag. You make your way back across town to the Smiling Satyr without a problem.
I feel like we Sil would be mad if we didn't have her carouse. Or if anything, can I try to persuade somebody else to carouse?
You can try.
Trying to pull the sugar daddy thing.
Sil actually wakes up in the same club that Rich did, except not in one of the not in one of the beds. She ends up in the corner with a splitting headache. As the cleaning staff are going around in the morning, kind of mopping everything up, one of them comes around to Sil and says, "Here, you had a really rough night last night. It looked like. Here's some breakfast for you."
Awesome.
And she wakes up with another 5 gold.
This is a good town.
Nobody else is carousing though. Damn.
I just tried to get somebody else to. With her, so she could watch while she was completely sober.
I mean, you can try. Are you trying to persuade part of the party to carouse?
No, it's more somebody that looked like they were already drinking heavily here. Add to it. Like generally pour them drinks and like give them like.
I grew up still with you guys.
Oh dear. Inks can
That could
understand.
go.
Inks can understand his predicament with that since she's going through the same thing.
That could go horribly wrong. Let's
Exactly.
do it.
No, Inks knows better. She goes through that. Inks is just trying to find a geisha sugar daddy.
So, Igron at least ends up in the right bed. He stays at the Smiling Satyr the whole night. But he comes out in the morning carrying an entire ham. The ham is wearing a nightgown and lipstick. He looks very confused. Why is this in my bed? Why was I holding this when I woke up? What did I do last night?
Oh, you don't want to know how many times I've seen that.
What did I do?
You drank like a small folk.
I suppose so.
Which is doubly impressive given the circumstances.
Yes. Yes.
By the way, nice G-string, Richard. You know, I'm going to want the whole story later.
Igron is kind of just holding his head. Ow! Could you not speak so loudly? I haven't been this hungover in decades. God.
Welcome to Loudwater. Pass him over some water.
He will guzzle that shit.
The entire, like, alchemy jug worth.
Basically. He just lifts it and chugs. One thing nobody teaches you about giants, they chug like fucking champions.
One would almost think there wasn't a bunch of wars about to start.
Indeed. So, y'all can eat breakfast and head out. So, Loudwater is a surprisingly old town, actually. So it used to be an elven town way back. It's human now. It's primarily very large wooden stone buildings. They have a lot of ivy growing on them. There's a lot of flowering plants hung up on them. The streets tend to meander a bit. There's a large river that cuts through the middle of town with a large arching stone bridge over it. There's huge old trees that line the riverbanks. There's gardens everywhere in this place. There's a large stone wall going around the city that has flowers growing along its foundation, both inside and outside. And there's actually a modest harbor. So you guys are on the south side of the river, but on the north side you can see a very large mansion poking up above everything else, and that's the High Lord's Hall here. Your innkeeper friend will gladly point it out to you.
Did we still have more sending stones, or did we already pass those out?
I
assume if they're already gathering together, they already know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we passed all the ones out that we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can remember.
If I recall correctly, you basically gave your bag to Valhero and just asked him to hand off everything he could.
Right.
So, the innkeeper, Garwin, will tell you all about Loudwater. He's got plenty of stories about the city. But he's also willing to just let you guys sit in silence and eat your breakfast if your hangovers are too bad.
Oh no, Inks is talking
He's
to him.
seen that before.
Inks is talking to him the whole time. Perfectly fine.
All right.
Hoping that she got him some extra coin from everyone she just kept poking to drink.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Are you talking to him about anything in particular?
Rumors, gossip.
All right. So, let me grab my Loudwater note. So, Loudwater actually has something of a refugee problem right now. They haven't had any direct giant problems themselves, but the outlying towns of Oral Bar. Oh, you guys aren't on the map. You're still on the professor's lab. Whoops.
Yep.
My bad. So the outlying towns of Oral Bar and Lork, to the east of Loudwater, have both had some trouble with stone giants coming down from the mountains. And so people have been fleeing from there and heading into Loudwater as refugees. So the city's having a bit of trouble finding places for them all to for them all to stay. So that's the most recent news. There's also been some reports of stone giants spying on this city to try and determine what's going on here. He notes that Loudwater seems like kind of an easy target, but it isn't quite as easy a target as it might seem.
Oh, good defenses.
A little bit of that. A little bit that the major faction in the city is not the Harpers. It's actually the Zentarum. Loudwater is a Zent city. So, like the Zents really heavily tax anything that isn't provided by them. There's protection fees for certain businesses that have pissed them off, that sort of thing. And the Zents like to keep their what forces they have in Loudwater very well hidden. So it makes Loudwater a softer target than it may appear. So the basic summary of the Zent should be in your in the factions folder with the Lord's Alliance one. But yeah.
They're both just pictures.
So yeah, this isn't city is the TLDR.
Right.
which for those of you who might not be as familiar with them, basically means it's a mafia town.
Okay. Yeah, all those things are just pictures of the thing
Oh.
with information.
Oh, that's annoying. My bad. They're all in the GM notes. Okay. I'll change that at some point. The Zent one at least is fixed. I'll get to the rest in due time.
Mhm. Does he know about how many days travel it is from here to Parnast?
Good question. Call it 6 days. 6 or 7 days.
Good to know.
Assuming you don't hit any significant giant 6 days. Garwin particularly advises you do not stop in Oral Bar, which is that city just to the north of the road. It's basically abandoned now. Lork, he's not sure. He's pretty sure that most people had that most everybody's abandoned it, but he's not totally sure.
That's good to know. Oral Bar probably would have been out of our way anyway.
Sorry?
Saying that Oral Bar probably would have been out of their way anyway.
Yeah, it is a bit out of the way. Well, it's only about 10, 12 miles off the path.
But unnecessary at this point.
Right.
We probably should be heading out soon unless anyone has anything else they want to do. As much as I love this place.
It's a fun town and all, but we got to get to work.
Yep.
Isn't that the truth? With a pout.
Life's so hard.
It is. Inks has to leave, or Rich has to leave his heart behind.
Yes. You have to leave your twin behind.
which that is some issues we will never discuss.
I think you're just missing out on the greatest time of your life.
Darling, why do you think I have an extra hat now? Said it wouldn't be discussed, not that it wasn't that it was a bad idea. On that note, down towards Parnest.
Yep.
I'll make sure this thing was still working.
Indeed. All right. So, you guys can leave the city directly after you eat. This basically puts you on the road. So, Loudwater at least is very, very nice terrain to hike through. There's the river on one side, there's Southwood on the other, which is some very nice forest. It's a very nice deciduous forest, even. There's mountains. Well, there's technically mountains far off in the distance. It's very nice terrain to hike and or fly through, as you guys are doing. What are people doing during travel time?
Besides keeping an eye out for stone giants.
Right. Yeah, everybody roll me perception checks for during the day. Yeah, you're still floating off the high of meeting your twin.
This works out perfectly.
Inks, you spot a stone giant hiding on a hill near Loudwater at one point, but he does not appear to pay too much mind to you. Oh, shit. Revivify diamonds?
Indeed. 300 a pop.
All right. 300 a pop. All right. Yeah, you can find that without too much trouble. Garwin can point you to a trader who won't cheat you. And so you can pick up the diamonds without any trouble.
I will buy 3.
All right.
Want to help haggling? Or does it have to be? Oh, I guess it has to be because of the thing. Never mind.
All right. So, yeah. You pass through the region. It's actually pretty nice here. You spot some wildlife on the way. Nothing spectacular, though. Yeah. You make it through your first... How many days to walk? First 3 days or so. Without trouble. And eventually, you come up to the town. You come up to the town of Lork. I'm just going to ignore that for the time being. One sec, I might have to go kill a spider.
Okay.
Murderer.
He's just not a believer in Lulth.
All right, sorry. Yeah, sorry. The bug vanished. We don't know where it went.
It's a ninja.
But basically. So yes, town of Lork. You guys are coming up on after about 3 days of travel. So Lork is an old mining town. There's a bunch of refugees that are coming in here after it was a mining town that got turned into a bandit lord stronghold and then got retaken from him, and they were trying to rebuild it when stone giants attacked. And so the residents from that have apparently been mostly driven out. There might be some people still in there, though.
I mean, I couldn't blame them for leaving.
Yeah. Do you want to check out the town at all? Do you want to skirt around it? It's basically just in the middle of the road, right past a river.
Sounds like we're gonna get close and oh no, we're flying. Sorry.
Yeah, you're flying. Or Rich has the mech, actually. He's running along below you guys, but he's keeping pace.
I'm
Hi.
inclined to get close enough to see what's going on.
Okay.
Something throws a rock at us.
So, hi, Sil.
Hello.
Yay!
So, you guys, you're flying closer to the town of Lork. You wanted to take a look. So, there are, even from a distance, you can tell pretty easily that there are a bunch of stone giants walking around parts of Lork. Roll perception. Anybody who's interested to see what they are doing.
Again.
Oh wow. Okay. Inks and Ox, you guys can both see that the cloud giant. Sorry, not cloud giants. Stone giants. I've been referring to the same type of giants for too long. The stone giants appear to be rummaging through the ruins of the town. Occasionally, you'll see they're mostly just tossing stuff aimlessly out of the way, but occasionally you'll see them pick up and throw something a bit more purposefully. You can't tell what at, though.
It's outside the wall, it's a bunch of titans.
Yeah. You can get closer and check it out more if you want, or keep flying past. Up to you guys.
I'm disinclined to get involved in this when we have something to do.
Yeah, Inks is at that vote.
Especially since we're not seeing anything overtly evil happening here. It sounds like it wasn't the stone giants that took them out, it was the hill giants that were screwing everything up. Although we know stone giants are more active in this area.
Yeah, get what we came for and deal with the bigger picture.
So, moving past, you're moving past the what's it? The town.
I believe so.
All right. So you ignore the town, the ruined town of Lork, and proceed your way to Parnast. So call it another 2-3 days of travel. 3 days of travel. You arrive in the lovely little town of Parnast. Or a village, really. So, the village has basically a few dozen small houses, a small square, and it's got, and it includes a tavern, a stable, and a shrine.
In contrast to this rustic little burg, there is a mighty ice castle half hidden in a fog-shrouded ravine. Walls standing 40 feet high, huge narrow towers looming upward, one of blue ice, one crumbling, and all of it built to a scale for giants. Wisps of fog hide much of the castle's detail, but you see two statues hiding just behind the enormous gate.
Does Agron recognize any of this?
That's Father's castle, all right. Have to find a way to get into it, of course, but
Speaking personally, I won't have any trouble, but I'd like something that means I don't go in alone.
Yeah, for a second she was like, that doesn't quite look like a cloud dragon. Oh, right. Cold dragon. That makes sense.
Actually, didn't we work out a solution for this particular class of problem when we were dealing with the fire giant lord?
We did.
We stuff the party in a bag of holding. I fly the bag of holding to where we need it to be and pull out party members. It's not a best solution, but it's way better than no solution.
It's a thing.
Also, we have a portable hole now.
So you'd have to carry a bag of holding and a portable hole. But the portable hole itself weighs like next to nothing.
yeah, I think it's like 5 pounds or something. If that.
I know.
I think it
make it easier.
specifies
Let's
the weight
just,
as next to nothing.
Yeah, I think that I have access to flight forms that could carry up to a non-foodie halfling.
Or we can just make it easier and stuff the hole in the bag of holding.
No.
Wait.
That's a
No
completely
problems.
different thing.
That you are welcome to do this if you wish.
No, you are not welcome to do this if you wish. Not while you're standing next to me, anyway.
I'm sure at some point we'll have occasion to make a bomb.
I'm sure. Hey, has Lord Naboon checked in yet?
We talked to him the other night.
That was almost like a week ago now, actually.
No, yeah.
Yeah, last I knew we had checked in with him before the Oracle.
Oh, yeah, then we checked in with him a couple times afterwards. Let him know what happened.
Yeah, you checked it. They checked it in with him after they tried reviving a Warforged.
And he told us about what's going on with Countess Sansuri. So basically,
Yes.
we're coming here to kill Aigeron's dad, and then take his castle, find Countess Sansuri's castle for a big party she's throwing, and then basically be Aigeron's, what do they call it? His emissaries, so that we can possibly deliver some information and get her conch. Mutual agreement. Because she's looking for a dragon horde. That's probably the dragon that fucked with us. If we can give her some information that Lord Naboon gave us about a potential location where it might be, we might be able to get the conch from her and as a trade.
At which point we still have some pretty serious issues, and we should maybe give some thought to that before we actually get over there, but yeah.
Well, the first things first is we kind of already promised we'd help Aegoron kill his dad.
No, I am
So-
100% behind this mission.
That's definitely step one, and we're at the castle now, and now we're trying to figure out how we're going to get in. Like you walked in the beginning of that conversation.
Right, so, do we have a better solution than the one
Yeah,
I
but we
listed?
just got here.
Does Aigeron know any better ways to get in? Any secret entries?
Particularly, it's a flying castle. There's no point.
Okay, it is flying.
No, it's on the ground right now.
Giants
Okay.
don't go in for subtlety much.
The there's no real need for a secret entrance to something like this. It's not meant to be. Its best defense against infiltration is that it can fucking fly.
Which is less defense than you might think when there's a druid on the scene.
True.
All we have to do is find a window we left open.
I mean,
it's-
this is. I'm having it very well. This is not like Zephyros's tower, where it's literally just the tower. This is a full fucking castle that's flying. It has like multiple sets of walls. Like it has an inner and an outer wall. It has like an upper and lower courtyard. It's like multi-leveled. It's got multiple towers on it. It is a big thing.
Aside from the giant, who lives there?
Besides the white dragon in the basement.
Yeah, so there's the white giant in the basement.
It's a white dragon.
Yeah, the white dragon in the basement. Sorry. White giants are something that doesn't exist, I don't think. Let's see. What would Igron know about in here? Last Igron knew, Blagothkus had some guests from the Cult of the Dragon, actually. And there's always been a ghost who used to be part of the cult. Actually, she's not a ghost, she's a vampire who used to be part of the cult and who kind of crashes on the in the castle right now.
Fun. So anyone have some sunburst?
We're looking at a handful of people total. I mean, how many cultists at any given time?
Oh, Igron died and wasn't. Igron was dead for at least a month before you guys found him. He's kind of.
But are we looking at like dozens or a handful or hundreds?
Maybe a couple dozen.
Okay.
Varying strengths.
They're not going to be able to watch the entire wall with that kind of numbers, though.
No. Yeah, Igron estimates a couple dozen. He also knows the cultists are prone to bringing pets with them.
Probably want to land somewhere and then scout out the castle.
Pets, like what kind of pets? Like dogs and cats, or like
guard drake kind of pets.
Gotcha.
Anybody, at least one of you has probably met with the Cult of the Dragon before, and noticed that they occasionally have ogres floating around as well. So you guys wanted to land and look around, if I heard this correctly. Yes?
Yes.
I mean, as scouting goes, we might just want to send in, like, me and Rich and have our separate looks around and then meet back up.
Up to you guys.
Assuming our goal is to be maximally unnoticed, I'm not sure if, like, how much we care. I wouldn't want to give away a surprise if we didn't have to.
To be fair, he's already probably a little bit on guard because Igeron sent him a sending message basically threatening him.
Wait, seriously?
About a week and a half ago.
He did, in fact, do that, yes.
Not saying where we were at the time or how soon we'd be there, but
I mean,
he got a bit orc. He went a bit orky.
I mean, you know, I can see having strong feelings and wanting to reach out, but that was probably not your best decision.
Probably not.
Well, done is done. All right, so who do we have who's actually even willing to set foot inside the castle environs? I don't have a problem with it.
I don't.
Richard has a mech now.
You did what?
Yeah, we got the. Were you?
No, she wasn't there to see that.
Oh, okay. So in the tower, we found a mech, and one of the gnomes was able to shrink it down, so we could get it out of the tower.
So now Richard is an Ava pilot. Or Gundam, I guess, technically, in this case. Clockwork Gundam.
I was going to say, it's not a demon with mech armor. I hope not.
I'm
anyway.
just gonna say, if you have a Clockwork Gundam, yeah, if you have a Clockwork Gundam, then it is definitely time for a bit of the old ultraviolence.
I kind of want to just like ride around the castle to see how many gates there are, or see if there's an obvious wall for scaling or something like that.
Yeah, I've been rather rudely informed that there are not in fact native maps for this castle in the Roll20 module, so I am just cleaning one up for you guys right now. So give me a sec.
That's fine. We're gonna work out our plan first anyhow, so unless it will be greatly dependent on geography.
It's more if we can find an opening or good approach. Although we might not, so.
Yeah. So, 1 second. Here we are. Skyreach Castle.
There's a whole mountain.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
There's a whole mountain that's like dug out and stuff. Igeron doesn't remember the tunnels inside it accurately enough to give you guys like a proper map of them, but he can draw you out a rough picture of like what the courtyards look like and what the you guys can see for yourselves what the actual castle looks like.
Okay. But there are tunnels down through the mountain.
Yes. So the side view kind of has like sort of a picture of them. But yeah, there are tunnels out like through the mountain that allow people who can't do things like fly on command to go between the upper and lower courtyard.
Right. So there may be tunnels there that we can sneak in that way.
Oh yeah, there's a cave tunnel entrance marked on the upper courtyard.
And there are hardly any dragons that way at all.
Yeah, we have to get up there without being.
Yeah, there are no dragons marked on this map. No.
Yeah.
I'm thinking below the courtyard and behind the lower courtyard. There may be a small tunnel we can come in that way. I would like to look for one.
You want to go around the back of the mountain and look there? Am I understanding you correctly?
Basically.
All right. Insect. So it looks like there might be. There's what looks like there might be an entrance into the mountain. Igron will warn you, however, that in the mountain is where the white dragon lives.
Told
Yeah.
you.
Fair warning. There is what almost looks like a porch sticking out towards the back. It's probably about 100 feet above you guys, but it is sticking out of the back of the mountain. It'd be like this bit here.
Okay. So that's an option. That really just depends on can we talk our way past the dragon if we promise to free its eggs.
What is the full list of objectives we intend to accomplish while we're here? What is every goal that we need to get done?
The basic goal
Murder,
was,
basically.
Yeah, murder the dad, steal his castle. Take it to Council
So that's
Sensory.
2. That's 3.
So getting the dragon out of it would probably be good for that endeavor, but we're
Do we
hoping
have
that
any-
if we get its eggs out, it might leave.
Do we have a burning reason to do anything but negotiate with the dragon to get it out?
It's evil?
It's probably crazy evil, it's vicious, so it's probably like chaotic.
But there's a chaotic evil in our way, and there's a chaotic evil not in our way.
We need it out of the castle regardless. Do we think we can take it?
We would be hard pressed to kill it ourselves. We might be able to pull it off, but then if they notice that and come after us afterwards, we're probably fucked. And while it is an evil thing, it is not an existential threat to the planet.
Then at the very least, it is not a first on our list.
No. It's an obstacle, it's not a priority.
Okay, can we deal with it?
It's intelligent in the sense that it can speak and make deals. It won't be like
Make deals is another
trustworthy.
question.
Roll a nature check to learn about the capabilities of adult white dragons as it relates to whether or not you guys can fight it. Or realistically fight it.
Thanks for that.
Sorry. So, white dragons, adult white dragons are pretty nasty. That's gotta be a glitch. There's no fucking way they have 10 AC. I'll be checking that before you guys fight it. But
So, well, there's a pretty solid statement of what it's going to do.
yeah, there's no fucking way it has 10 AC. I'm gonna check that before you guys fight it. But so adult white dragons, they're most adult. It has a very nasty cold breath weapon. Like all adult dragons, it has a extremely frightful presence. It's got the it's got the ability to shrug off effects that should disable it, even when it might be caught unawares. Read, it has legendary resistance. And it's faster than you might think as well. As in, it has legendary actions.
Yeah,
So-
I know the wormlings have at least 15 or 16 AC, so that's definitely not right.
Yeah. So it's nasty. You'd also be fighting it in its lair, which adds some other complications. It's doable, but not ideal.
Yeah, we could really only hope to try to make a deal for it for figuring out its eggs.
Well, that was kind of the next place I was going. Is it something that can be
Yeah.
dealt with, or will it just attack first and not bother asking questions of whatever's left before it eats it?
I mean,
Both are
It
realistic
was-
possibilities.
yeah, it has equal intelligence to most of the members of the party, for what that's worth.
Might Inks possibly be able to do a little bit better talking to it? Number one, because draconic sorceress. Number two, cold draconic sorceress.
Are you a silver dragon born?
Yeah, it's a silver.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
How obvious is it that you're a silver dragon born? Or a silver dragon sorcerer? You're not a dragon born.
She's got the
Like-
scales around. But she could prestidigitate the scales white.
That is a possibility. So I
And
mean,
she could have the cold attacks to show that she is cold related.
it's
We both
intelligent.
get the expertise on charisma checks with dragons.
Yes, you do. So I mean, it's intelligent enough to be reasoned with. It probably won't attack you out of hand, unless you do something very stupid. It, like all dragons, that white dragons are very prideful beasts. There is some shit that they just will not put up with.
We can possibly talk to it and be like, hey, we want to kill this guy too. We'll find your eggs. Don't attack us. We'll do what we can.
Does Ikaron know the dragon well enough to speak to it via messages? Can we deal in advance?
Do you guys have sending or something?
I'm sorry, how did he contact his father again?
Yeah, the rod.
Yeah, you have that. Narby, I think, has that rod of sending that he used to call all the gnomes. I don't think you guys took it with you, though.
I know I didn't take Norby's rod of sending.
Okay, that seems like an insanely useful thing, and we should definitely get one made.
Yeah. I mean,
I
you
mean,
can-
For the party that talks our way through things, not having a way to call just anyone we want seems pretty poor.
I mean, you can go and get yourself a rod made if you really want.
I mean, obviously, it's not a high priority at the current moment. I'm just bemoaning the fact that we didn't when we had the chance.
Would that have been something that Syl would have done when we were in any of the cities? We went to Mirabar and Loudwater.
I mean, this is... lol. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely have seen that and gone, that is awesome and we totally need one. And continued harping on how cool it would be to be able to communicate with whoever we wanted instead of having to deal with weird metal ears and things that we have to carry around for like each individual person.
To be fair, they're rock ears, not metal ones.
I thought that the Fire Lord's one was brass.
The Fire Lord's one is brass, but you only have one of those.
No, we have a bag full of those. We have one stone one and a shitload of brass ones.
You handed off the bag to the Archmage in Everland a while ago.
Okay, but we did at one point have a bag. I have seen far more metal ones than I mean, just like reaching around and feeling around in the big, giant metal ears bag.
All right. All right. So instead, you want a metal rod that you can reach around and feel in the giant metal rod bag.
Well, I only want the one metal rod that we use to reach anyone who we can identify well enough to use sending on.
Or is there a wand of sending?
There's probably a wand of sending, yes.
Well, there we go then.
Could Syl have made a search for a wand of sending. Could Syl have made a search for a wand of sending?
Possible.
I mean, currently I can't pay for it. I would have to argue for it as a party item.
Roll a D100. You do not find one. The gnomes are willing to make you one. The gnomes who are back at the professor's tower would be willing to make you one. But that would take some time, and then they have to get it to you.
But if they were ready to get it to us, they could reach out to us via the wand of sending.
They could. They do, in fact, have a wand of their own.
So yeah, certainly we should put that into production, even if we can't pick it up immediately.
Depending on how much that is, I'll be fine with that.
All right. Yeah, they can start putting you together a wand of sending. But it is not something. It's been a week.
Yeah, we can't really go back for it.
Yeah, it's been like a week and a half since you guys left. What? So not too much longer until it's done, but it's on the way.
That's fine. Alright, so unless we're going for a straight smash and grab, we should probably do subtle scouting before we go out in full force.
Agreed.
See. Well, some of us are stealthier than others.
Ain't that the truth?
So, scouting.
Yeah, that'll probably be similar.
Yeah.
Is Adriel going to?
Probably. Honestly, we might as well just save any in-depth scouting for next session, just so we don't have to reiterate over it all
That's fair.
again, because it's getting late. So, what do you say, guys? End for tonight?
Sounds good.
Works for me.
Yeah, sure.
All right. All right. So, I will be gone next week. I'm going to be in Arizona for Monday. So, we will not play next week. We will resume the week after. Day before Halloween.
I'll miss you all.
Yeah. All right.
Have a day off.
The weather shock for you is going to be all sorts of fun.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. It's like 9 degrees Celsius here. It's 33 in Arizona, and it looks like it's going to be the same.
Wait, you're gonna be in Arizona?
Yep.
What part of Arizona?
Chandler, Arizona.
Hang on, let me take a look at a map here.
I'm told it's basically a suburb of Phoenix.
Right. So you'll be the devil's ass crack.
Wah, wah.
Yep. It's going to be great. Thankfully, it looks
Not
like we're
all
gonna
of
get-
Arizona is like that, but Phoenix is totally like that.
At least it won't be too humid.
Yeah, I'm told it's also extremely dry there, which is good.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, it's so much better.
Stay hydrated and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm anticipating spending most of the time I'm there inside. So
Well, you know, it'd only be an 8-hour drive to come up and see me.
I'm not gonna have a car. Unfortunately. Also, I
Nigga
have no
mustard.
idea. I also have no idea even which state you're in.
Colorado.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm kind of connected to Arizona. I wonder where Chandler is. Turns out there's a lot of Arizona between me and you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm basically just there for 2 days for my class, and then I'm leaving again. So, not much time to go visit people, unfortunately.
That's life.
Such is.
Everyone still needs to come visit me.
I need to come back and visit you.
Yes.
Y'all are too fucking scattered for me to go everywhere and visit you.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just saying
it's a
DC
learning
is actually a
experience.
pretty solid selling point.
Totally is.
All right.